Hey guys, it's Kat. Surprise! As if I wasn't being obnoxious enough already about Hollow Knight and how excited I am for you guys to be playing it. Believe it or not, I went ahead and decided to try and make a video going over how to prepare for and complete Hollow Knight's first boss, the False Knight. So, why did I do it? Because I'm insane and because I'm just so excited, and I honestly couldn't find any really helpful, good videos on the first boss fight, so I thought I'd just try my best to make my own. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys and you kind of get a kick out of it. And definitely let me know how you feel about it, and if you think that I'm like off my rocker, that's totally okay, because you're probably right. Depending on how much exploration you've done, you may have already encountered the Gruzmother, who you need to defeat in order to reach the deserted village down below and rescue Sly the shopkeeper from his stupor. I strongly recommend that you do this sooner rather than later, because he has several items in his shop that will prove to be immensely helpful in the near future. While you can certainly visit Sly whenever you want to, it's not imperative that you do so before this fight. As an aside, I generally consider Gruzmother to be a mini-boss as opposed to a full-fledged boss, hence why I refer to the False Knight as the first of its kind in the game, and not Gruz. While I initially adopted this opinion because it seems to be the general consensus in the Hollow Knight community, it wasn't until I was actually making this video that I realized why this is probably the case. So, upon defeating a bona fide boss, they will usually drop or grant you access to a new ability or an item that is essential to the knight's progression through Hollow Nest. Mini-bosses, on the other hand, only drop, well,
money!
While geos are a commodity that enable you to purchase new items and open stag stations, the currency drops from almost every enemy in the game, and mini-bosses don't drop nearly enough of it for it to be considered comparable to the rewards earned by defeating actual bosses in the game. So, before we head over to attempt this fight, I'm going to open up the stag station here in the Forgotten Crossroads, meet our lovely stag friend, and take a quick trip up to Dirtmouth using the Stagway. Upon opening the stag station in the Forgotten Crossroads, you automatically have the ability to travel to the Dirtmouth station using the Stagway, which is good, because the door to the station is locked from the inside. As a result, you need to have opened at least one other location before you can travel to Dirtmouth and unlock the door, so you can now travel to and from this station. While you're here, you can always stop in to see Sly in his shop, or Zelda, and pick up any supplies that you might want, but there isn't anything that you actually need from them to defeat the boss, so it's entirely up to you if you want to go stop in and look around. Once we get back to the station, go ahead and sit on this bench to set up your respawn location, just in case it takes you a few tries to get this guy. While we're here, you can take a look at your inventory. We don't have a whole ton of charms at the moment, and I'm not going to be using any for this fight. That being said though, charms are an invaluable resource moving forward, both in and out of combat, so you'll want to visit this page often and familiarize yourself with any new charms that you get as you pick them up. This next page is more of your traditional inventory layout, and while it's pretty empty at the moment, any items other than charms or new abilities you pick up will be viewable from here. Next, we have your current map page. Here you can zoom in and view all of the maps that you've collected so far. This is important to note because pressing the tab button for a quick map view only shows the map of your current location, whereas your inventory map will show you a complete view of all the maps that you currently have. While you need to be sitting at a bench to equip and unequip your charms, you can access the full map at any time through your inventory. Just make sure you're not going to get attacked by something while you're looking at it. Now, as soon as you enter this room, you'll notice to your left that we have a rather large fellow called a Husk Guard, who's blocking our way to our first of many glorious victories. These guys are a pain in the ass to beat right now, so we can just use these conveniently placed platforms to leave him to his nap and carry on our way. Now we're finally entering the boss room. Continuing over to the left, we can see a shiny chest just out of reach, which we'll be able to loot once we finish the fight. As we approach the actual boss arena, there are 3 smaller husks that you'll want to take care of before triggering the boss fight, which you do by walking all the way to the far left side of the arena. Simply wait for the smaller enemies to come to you, and dispatch them so that you'll only have the boss to worry about once he appears. Now, despite his intimidating stature, the False Knight moves very slowly, and he only has 3 attacks that you can easily identify once you know what to look for. The first attack he does is a simple mace slam, in which he jumps towards you with his mace held above his head and smashes it down to the ground upon landing. When you see him start this attack, you just need to pick a direction and go. You can walk away from him, or if you're feeling frisky, you can walk under him, which will allow you to resume attacking him as soon as he lands, instead of having to keep your distance in order to dodge his mace. The second type of attack he uses is his Shockwave Smash. The False Knight usually jumps away from you and holds his mace behind him as he winds up his swing. Once his mace hits the ground, it will send a small shockwave across the arena. Simply jump to avoid getting hit by it. When you've done enough damage to him, the False Knight will perform a stagger sequence, indicating that his health has been reduced by approximately 30%. He'll fly backwards and fall to the ground, and his helmet will pop off momentarily, revealing the False Knight within. This is the perfect opportunity to heal, as the Knight will stay down until you've hit him a total of 8 times with your nail while he's in this position. Once he gets back up though, he's going to be pissed. He'll jump to the center of the arena and perform his final type of attack. He'll pound his mace on the floor repeatedly, causing rocks to rain down from the ceiling. It's best to stay just out of his range during this attack, and you can either move to avoid any falling rocks overhead, or use your nail to hit them towards the Knight to do some damage. The False Knight only performs this attack after a stagger, so it's the easiest of the 3 to anticipate. Once the Knight has performed his stagger 3 times, his ensuing temper tantrum proves to be too much for the floor beneath his feet, as it crumbles and the False Knight falls to the storeroom below. You can now jump down and deliver the final blows, thus defeating your first boss of the game. Congratulations on your first major Hollow Knight victory, and don't be discouraged if it takes you multiple times to beat this boss. He's part of the learning curve of this game, which, like most, are steeper at the beginning and become easier to master as you progress. Now that you've completed the fight, you'll pick up an interesting little trinket that will come in handy later, and you can collect your much-deserved loot from that chest to your left. You can now continue on to the next room in the same direction, where you'll gain access to the first of many new abilities, and will unlock a whole new area of Hallownest for you to explore. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you found this video helpful, and let me know if you'd like to see more of these in the future. And until then, keep swinging. Your nail. I mean, keep swinging your nail. Yeah. Okay. I'll leave now.